Recording in progress.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining tonight. This is our Thursday, our once a month Thursday Ride, Love, Grow get together. And we haven't really got anything much to talk about our trips. Hungry Horse reservations for Virginia opens on January 1. So please, and I will put a reminder out closer to that time or on that day when they open up. And that's the actual camping one. And then Drowsy Water Ranch, the Dude Ranch is still taking reservations. And I think there are still actually some places available in the actual lodge, so we would be together. So don't forget that if you want to still get into the all-inclusive fun time in Denver. And that one is in September, and the Hungry Horse one is in October next year. All right, so today's teaching or just chat basically is on finding and knowing your talent and what your purpose is. What is your plan in life? You know, what are you planning, or what do you think your plan is in life? So this relates to personal growth as well. You know, most people have never tried to identify their personal talent, their personal purpose, or their plan for their life. They just kind of roll along and try this kind of work or try that job, and it doesn't, you know, and they're miserable in their job or something like that. But this is just coming to a place where you can experiment and become an observer of what is something that you are talented in. What is your superpower? What is your voice? What is your confidence? You know, so that's kind of where that comes from. It's a talent or something like this is something you are born with. It's your primary talent. It's something that comes naturally. It's something that jazzes you up. And they're God-given, and it's a skill as well. So when you think of these talents that we are given, and you want to know how to find out what your talent is, the easiest way on how to find out is to ask someone else what a close friend, family member, ask them what they think you do very well, what you shine in, what your superpower is. Do you have the ability to make people feel relaxed? Do you have the ability to, are you detailed in things, you know, in note-taking, something, ask them what they see in you, because normally others will see it and it's very obvious to others, and we kind of are bumbling around because it's so part of us that we don't even recognize or see it. So that's definitely ask someone what they see in you. And learn how to use this talent, you know, in helping others, in solving problems, and realize that it's your super strength. You know, sometimes you want to feel like you're just one of the crowd, but you're not. You are uniquely made, and you are specifically made with a talent, and multiple talents, but one will be stronger than the other. And that it's to be a blessing to others, to, you know, and your talent can make you money. It could, you know, just be something that you do naturally and others are happy. Like I know this lady, she loves to do flower arranging, and she doesn't do it as a business. She just does it to bless others. She grows flowers, makes beautiful arrangements, and just goes and gives them to people who she thinks would enjoy flowers. So we need the opportunity. So this talent, if you think of a talent, have either of you ladies here thought of a talent, you know, where you're comfortable in doing something? It's not a stress. Time flies by when you're doing it. It's easy for you. Not that it doesn't take effort, but it's not something that you're forcing yourself to do. Is there anything that you have thought of or are aware of or have become an observer of in your life? I'll give you my example. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy finding what makes people finding out, or motivating people, getting them to think deeper thoughts, going a little inward. Spirit, soul, and body. That's something I mean, that's been around for years and years and years. There's nothing new about it in my life. But is there anything, Rhonda, I know in your profession, you would think that you would have, so what do you think your talent or your superpower is?
It would be along the lines of giving.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And I see that in you. I definitely do. Caring for others, seeing something in someone, there's a lack, there's a need, and you are the one to jump in. You're the best person to go trail riding with because you have every bit of emergency equipment in case something goes wrong.
Minus the meds.
Yeah, and
you have those. I still have to put those in there.
Yeah. Definitely in giving. And so being a ER nurse or a nurse, definitely allows you to utilize that beautiful gift and talent. And one day when you retire from that, you will find other avenues, to continue doing that. And I mean, you do it anyway, not just there. Kristen, is there anything you can think of?
Well, I like to write clearly and help other people write clearly. I had lunch yesterday with an intern of mine. He was my intern about 12 or 13 years ago. And we talked about writing and editing. And he told me how much I had influenced him in writing and editing. And I was very gratified that I had that impact. And then he also had become a tea drinker because of me. And so I had really influenced him, but in October, when we went to Salt Lake, we had dinner with another intern of mine, and we have stayed in touch and referred, attorneys to him, and, spent time with his family. And so I've had some influence on young attorneys' lives, and that's been very gratifying for me. And when I look back, that was the most fun part of my job. And I probably wouldn't have said that 5 years ago, but looking back at the things that have meant the most to me, it's been working with the interns and the young attorneys.
Inputting into others' lives, and I can see that. I mean, and you've helped me too. You helped me with my website. You did all the reading, and I appreciate that because that's not something that I am talented in. So, and isn't that beautiful that you can help somebody along? And that is, in the big scheme of things, why we're here. Our purpose in life, is, there's a whole bunch, but one of the main purposes is to be able to contribute into other people's lives, in whichever form or fashion, and utilizing your gift in that, that is natural. I always thought everybody enjoyed talking and encouraging people and motivating people. I thought everybody was like that. When I met people, I thought everybody was like that. And that should be a clue as well. If it comes naturally and you reckon everybody's doing it or should be doing it, and you go, oh, they're not, it's my gifting, that's also a good clue. But to be able to utilize our talents, our gifts, for the forwarding and the growth and the help and the embedment of other human beings is so gratifying. Exactly what you were saying there. Because then that fulfills a need in our lives. Because as humans, one of our needs that we need to have fulfilled is knowing that we have a purpose. That's actually a need. And that does it for us, you know, being able to flow in that and be able to put input into other people's lives. Or did we lose Kristen? We'll just continue. So where there's a need in the world that you are uniquely qualified to solve based on your unique past and experiences and what you've gone through are great teachers as well. They help us to grow as well. So once you know what your gifts and talents are, you're going to realize that there has been a plan in life that's specific for you. You know, if I think of the scriptures, Jeremiah 29:11, that says God has a plan for your life and it is a good plan. The word plan there is actually the word design. And design, as I've mentioned before, is as if you're looking at somebody working on a loom and they've got a pattern or a design of a beautiful rug, and all the threads are coming in and the loom maker is making that. And then that is what our lives are, the rug. We sometimes cannot see the full picture, but it is being made. So that's exciting to know that we have, that God has a plan for our lives. And, you know, sometimes that plan doesn't feel like it's perfect, and it isn't, and the design doesn't feel like, but it all, in the end, it all looks perfect. It is all beautiful.
It winds up being perfect.
Why do you think it is? Because it makes us who we are. Even,
No,
you know,
I said it winds up being perfect.
Exactly, because the black strands, the yellow strands, the blue strands, it doesn't matter, because that changes us and that sends us in directions that we would never have gone. It makes us strong in areas we would never have been strong in. So there is a purpose and a plan in it, and nothing that, you know, has happened is by surprise. You know, it's not like, oh my word, there's, you know, I didn't know that that was going to happen. So we have the opportunity in our design or in our plan, it will have the opportunity to use our gifts and talents. So I think just becoming an observer of your gifts and talents is important, because then you know they're being utilized. I'm just trying to think. It is at
Wonder if she lost power.
Yeah, she may have, totally. Yeah, because normally she will try and get back on, and I have not had any message. Her internet froze.
She said that they were getting so much more snow.
Oh, wow. 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 All right. So that is it in a nutshell as far as your purpose and your plan for life, figuring out what your purpose is, what you're good at, by something that jazzes you up, something that you don't notice the time going by. Those are the things that are going to be part of your talents and your gift. Utilizing them is what's going to make you feel good, because you are fulfilling that role. Your plan or your design for life, even although at times it doesn't feel perfect, it doesn't look perfect at this moment in time, it is perfect because it's part of the design. You know, a design, you know, you go, oh my word, I wish it was just, you know, the flowers in my rug were made perfectly. But sometimes the leaf is a little skew or something's a little bent, but it is perfect. It is still beautiful. It's made us who we are. It's given us the opportunity to grow. It's given us the opportunity to have compassion, empathy, and all these things that we require as we go through life. So don't ever despise when challenges come our way, because they are part of our growth. I always used to say to myself, it's just a test. And I'd like, oh, I don't want to go through another test like this, because I might fail it again, and that means I'll have to redo the test. And that's what happened to me when I went to Zambia in Africa this year. When I arrived at we did 10 days at a humanitarian, we had the opportunity to work with a humanitarian nonprofit. And when I arrived there, all I wanted to do was leave straight away. I was like, get me out of here. It was just out of my comfort zone. I am an introvert. This was putting me in a room with people I didn't know, in bunk beds that were bunk beds, and the room was so tiny you couldn't, two people couldn't go. You had to wait in a lineup to use the bathroom. There was only cold water. We had peanut butter and jelly for food as sandwiches. You had nasty boiled eggs and yogurt for breakfast, and everything in my being wanted to leave. I mean, really seriously leave. And obviously I didn't. You know, the working with the children and stuff like that is always very heart-wrenching. But to me, the discomfort of this sounds terrible, of me being forced to work with and be with people A, I didn't know, B, I didn't want to share my space with them, was very, very uncomfortable. And then it came to my mind that I had been given this opportunity many, many years prior when I was in my 20s, and I failed that test. And I felt like I was given this opportunity again, and I better pass it because who knows how this test will be the next time around. But when I was in my 20s, late 20s, my girls went to a private Christian school, and the first day of the school, the parents had to go and sit in the classroom as if you were the kid. And it was like a little cubicle, and you sat with a little computer in front of you. I couldn't. I was like claustrophobic. I couldn't stand. I think I lasted 45 minutes. I got up and I said, I'm not in school. I'm not coming to school. Been there, done that. I'm leaving now. Thanks, bye. And I walked out. I failed the test. And they actually still admitted my children. I don't know why. So this time when I felt like that, I had the same response where I wanted to just get out. But I stayed and I grew, and I really grew. So many things, came up, and I realized that, we can do things even when we don't want to. If something is in front of us, it's actually part of our design, part of the plan, and something will come up, and there will always be a way out, and it will always work out. And even in that part of our rug, it might look messy when we look at the whole rug, but the whole rug is beautiful, and it has a purpose and a plan. So that is our little chat for tonight. So I'm going to stop my recording